Hey, I'm Mike Lemon with CyberSafe Team, where we make cyber safety simple so parents can keep their kids safe online. Hey, today we're going to be talking to Derrick Wagoner with Alliance Counseling Services, specifically about a topic of sexting. A huge topic right now, big problem we're seeing in schools. We know parents are dealing with it, teachers are dealing with it, as well as counselors and therapists like Derrick and his coworkers. So we're going to get to the interview with Derrick, but before we do, I just wanted to invite you, if you have not liked the CyberSafe Teen Nation page, it is a new group we are putting out there just for parents and teachers, friskies, people who are involved with children, like youth group, pastors as well, so they can come, they can learn from us, people like myself who've been involved with online crimes against children for well over a decade, and other people who are part of this group, as well as ask questions and have a community of parents and people who are just want to make sure that children stay safe online, where they can come and get the answers they need, maybe share some of their experiences that have worked for them, and help each other out. So let's get right into that interview.
I think the kids are sending pictures back and forth to each other. It's just become such a normalized thing for them to do. I mean, it's as normal as me and you sending a text message asking what we need to pick up at the grocery store. It's become so normalized. I think that the kids don't realize the consequences involved in it. I mean, it is pretty significant consequences for kids, sending sexting messages or sending pictures back and forth with one another. I don't think that the parents as well realize the amount of stuff that is being sent. I think most parents are thinking that high school is this stuff starting. It's not. It's way before them. This is middle school, sixth grade even. I know here some elementary schools are still sixth grade, but stuff like that's going on even at that young age. I just think that once one person does it, it becomes a trend for somebody else to do it, because at that age, these kids everything is about fitting in with your peers, and it's become so socially acceptable even for somebody to get a picture from somebody and to send it to somebody else to show it's become just acceptable by their standards. Typically, when we were growing up, if you look back at when you were in school, you would have certain cliques or certain groups would do certain things. And I think with these sexting, it doesn't matter. It's across all the cliques that there are in school. It's not just people who would do sports are involved in it. It's every single person. The person you would think the least likely to be doing something like that is doing it. I think for the females sending pictures, I think it's very pressured. I think they're getting constantly asked by everybody, "Oh, send me this, or send me that, or send me this," and then once they find one person who's done it, it becomes easier, and it becomes social. I mean, it's almost a contest now of who's going to send what, or how good does this picture look, which is terrifying to think that all the people that are sending these pictures out and sharing them, it's not just somebody sending you a picture and it's just staying there. It's this person sending it to this person, this one sending it to this one. So by the time one person sends a picture to one other person, it's going to 10, 15, 20 other people. So this one picture that you thought was private is out there for 20 people to see, and it's on the internet, and stuff on the internet doesn't die. It stays there forever. Doesn't matter if it's through a text, doesn't matter if it's through social media, it is there and it's going to be there. People can find it. They don't realize the consequences until it's too late. They'll send a picture to, "Oh, he's my boyfriend, I love him," or "It's my girlfriend, I love them." It's just going to be between them, and then the next thing they know, they break up, they split up, they argue, and everybody's, if they haven't seen it already, they've seen it now. And then it becomes, it puts you in this name calling thing. "Oh, well, she's this, or he's this, or he's that." As socially acceptable as it is now in the school system, if you're sending pictures and people are frustrated over it, they're going to start using those pictures as a way to spread rumors about you, name calling. It's not going to be, "Oh, they just send pictures." It's going to be, "Oh, well, they sleep with everybody," or "They do this," And I think that opens up the door as well for people to, "Well, I sent a picture already. What's the difference if I just go this one step further? Or what's the difference if I go this one step further?" So then you get involved in a lot of other peer pressure stuff you get involved in, and it could lead from a picture, it could lead to oral sex, could lead to intercourse, could lead to all these things, and it doesn't even matter if they know each other. It seems like, it's like, oh, they've already seen my naked pictures. What's the difference? You know what I mean? And just become this huge, just, I don't even know how to say it. I mean, it is a huge game. This is what it seems like. It is a huge game for everybody in the schools to be playing right now, as to how many likes can I get because of this picture, how many likes can I get because of this picture. And even if you can't post the picture because of the nudity on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter, one of these other social media sites, you can still share those things through their text message, and those things still get liked and get rated and get viewed and things like that as well. And I think for the kids, they don't look at it as, it's, if you're passing pictures around, it's child pornography. And I don't think that people are looking at how huge of an issue that is and how big of a consequence that can be. And that's terrifying, because if you have a lot of people doing that, you have a lot of people sharing those pictures. And I don't think the parents realize that either. I don't think the parents realize, oh, it's just a picture that his girlfriend sent him, or it's just a picture that the boyfriend sent. I don't think people realize that it's illegal. It's become so socially acceptable in the school system that people don't pay attention that it's breaking the law, every time that you send that picture. And that's terrifying, because something like that can ruin your life quicker than it can get you popular. I think the impact that this stuff has on the families involved with it is that if one person, if a son or a daughter does something in the via Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media you want to choose, or just texting, it sets up that entire family are having to deal with that stigma of that. Whether it be something positive from it, oh, well, look how good looking she is. Well, they might think that their younger sister may be willing to do the same thing, or their older brother may be willing to do the same thing. And that's not always the case. And I don't think that when that stuff spreads around to this person, then it goes to this person, and then the families find out about it, well, then it gives the parents a bad name involved with it. There's bad parents. The kids are like that because they're bad parents, So I think that it affects everybody in that family system, because it's either you're a bad parent, or, oh, if they're willing to do it, your sister did it, or, whatever name calling you want to use, and that same thing. Oh, well, your sister's, a hoe, or whatever that is. That stuff all comes out, and all the siblings through school have to deal with that. We've been through school. We knew how it was. Stuff sticks with you, man. If something happened in middle school, it's going to be with you till you graduate high school. It's going to stick with you. So imagine your sister doing something who's, say, 3 years older than you, and then you come into school, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, I knew your sister, I knew your brother, yeah, they used to do this. She's just like them, So I think it puts that peer pressure on that younger sibling, or the older sibling, to try to protect it at times as well as the family. And I think that the parents just don't realize how often this is occurring. I don't think that this doesn't monitor it enough from the parents. Maybe they don't know how to do that. Maybe they aren't aware of different ways that they can monitor it. But it's happening a lot more, and it leaves everybody with that stigma of whatever that issue is having. Because I'll say 99% of the time, you send a picture, something negative is going to happen from it. Whether it may not be now, it may be 6 weeks from now, it may be a year from now, but I think eventually that's going to come back, and something bad is going to come from it. Whether it's to the person who sent it, whether it's to the sibling, whether it's to the parent, it just affects everybody there. I think the impact that this stuff has on the families involved with it is that if one person, if a son or a daughter does something in the via Instagram, Snapchat, whatever social media you want to choose, or just texting, it sets up that entire family are having to deal with that stigma of that. Whether it be something positive from it, oh, well, look how good looking she is. Well, they might think that their younger sister may be willing to do the same thing, or their older brother may be willing to do the same thing. And that's not always the case. And I don't think that when that stuff spreads around to this person, then it goes to this person, and then the families find out about it, well, then it gives the parents a bad name involved with it. There's bad parents. The kids are like that because they're bad parents, So I think that it affects everybody in that family system, because it's either you're a bad parent, or oh, if they're willing to do it, your sister did it, or whatever name calling you want to use, and that same thing. Oh, well, your sister's a hoe, or whatever that is. That stuff all comes out, and all the siblings through school have to deal with that. We've been through school. We knew how it was. Stuff sticks with you, man. If something happened in middle school, it's going to be with you till you graduate high school. It's going to stick with you. So imagine your sister doing something who's, say, 3 years older than you, and then you come into school, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, I knew your sister, I knew your brother, yeah, they used to do this. She's just like them, So I think it puts that peer pressure on that younger sibling or the older sibling to try to protect it at times as well as the family. And I think that the parents just don't realize how often this is occurring.